We're going to be looking at customary units again, but this time we're looking at liquid volume. And this is page 457 through 460 for this lesson. Liquid volume is the measure of the space a liquid occupies. So how much space does liquid take up? Some basic units for measuring liquid volume are gallons, half gallons, quarts, pints, and cups. And you can see over here, 1 cup looks kind of like this. It's 8 fluid ounces. 1 pint equals 2 cups, so like this. 1 quart equals 4 cups. 1, 2, 3, 4, right here. The bars below model the relationships among some units of liquid volume. The largest units are gallons. The smallest units are fluid ounces. So here's a gallon. 1 gallon, it's the biggest. 1 gallon is the same as 2 half gallons. So if you're doing half gallons, you'd have to multiply 2 of them together to get 1 gallon. A quart is 1, 2, 3, 4 of the gallons. So when we're using quarts and changing it to gallons, we're timesing by 4. Pints, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It takes 8 pints to make 1 gallon, so we're multiplying pints by 8 to get gallons. Cups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It takes 16 cups to get 1 gallon, so multiplying cups by 16 will get you gallons. And then fluid ounces, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 here. But each one of them has 8 fluid ounces to make 1 cup. So 16 of the 8 fluid ounces will make a gallon as well. All right, so how does the size of gallons compare to the size of a quart? We're going to draw 2 bars that represent this relationship. 1 bar should show the gallons, and 1 bar should show the quarts. So let's start with the gallons. We know gallons is the longest. So I'm going to just draw a long bar here and label it with gallon. 1 gallon. Now we are showing the relationship between the gallon and quarts. So let's look back here at quarts. It took 1, 2, 3, 4 quarts. So I'm going to draw the same bar because those 4 quarts together are going to equal the same amount. And then I want to divide this into fourths, so I'm going to go to the middle, and I'm first dividing it into half. Then I'm going to divide each half in half and say 1 quart. 1 quart, 1 quart, and 1 quart. So we're going to shade 1 gallon on the bar and shade 1 quart on the other bar. So let's shade lightly. I'm going to just shade this gallon. I want to still be able to see the words. All right, and then I'm going to shade this quart. All right, compare the size of 1 gallon to the size of 1 quart. I can see that gallon keeps going on for a long time, but quart is a shorter distance. So 1 gallon is how many times as much as a quart? Well, let's see how many quarts it takes to make that gallon. 1, 2, 3, 4. So a gallon is 4 times as much as 1 quart. All right, let's look over here at another example. Now, this is going to be what we're going to keep referring back to. So as you do math today, look back to this. It's going to help you to change between these different types of measurements, okay? Serena needs to make 3 gallons of lemonade for the lemonade sale. She has powder mix that makes 350 fluid ounces of lemonade. How can she decide if she has enough powder mix? We're going to use the model on page 457 to find the relationship between gallons and fluid ounces. So 1 gallon equals how many cups? Let's go over here. 1 gallon is here. How many cups equals that same amount? So I'm going down to the cup line, and I just need to count how many this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 1 gallon is 16 cups. 1 cup is how many fluid ounces? So let's look. Here's 1 cup. And in the same space below is fluid ounces. It's 8 fluid ounces. See how these end at the same spot? That's how I know they are equivalent or equal. So 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces. So 1 gallon had 16 cups times 8 fluid ounces, because we're trying to change gallons to fluid ounces. So we're going to do 16 times 8. Let's just find a spot to write that, because we don't know that from our minds. We're going to write it down and figure it out. 8 times 6, or 6 times 8, same thing. What is it? I hope you said 48, because that is exactly what it is. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 4, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so 12. So 1 gallon has 128 fluid ounces. Now let's think about this. We're going to make a table that relates gallons to fluid ounces. So 1 gallon, because we're trying to get 3 gallons. We want to know how many fluid ounces are in 3 gallons. Is this enough? 350? 1 gallon is 128. 2 gallons, so we have to do 2 times 128. If you're like me and you need to do it not in your head but on paper, just write it here. 8 times 2, how much is that? All right, 16. 2 times 2, that is 4. Add 1 more, which is 5. So 2 plus 1, 2 times 1, that is 2. So 256. 2 gallons times 128 equaled 256 fluid ounces. Now let's do times 3. 128 times 3. 8 times 3 is 24. 3 times 2 is 6. Add the 2, so 7, 8. 8, and then 3 times 1 is 3. 384. So 3 gallons has 384 fluid ounces. 3 times 128 was 384 fluid ounces. Now we're going to compare. Remember, when we're comparing two different measurements, we have to transfer them both into the same unit of measurement. We can't compare ounces with gallons very easily, so we need to change them both to ounces here, which is the smallest unit of measurement out of these two. So 350 fluid ounces, since that's already in ounces, we're just going to write that again, 350 fluid ounces. Now 3 gallons we found out was 384 fluid ounces, so we are going to write that here, fluid ounces. And now we can compare which one of these is larger. To compare, you're going to look, they're both in the 300s, but if I look in the tens place, this has a 5, this has an 8. I know that this is larger, so this one is going to have the wider opening, and this one's going to have the teeny tiny spot pointing to the smaller number. Alright, so this is larger. Serena has enough to make 350 ounces. She needs to make 3 gallons of lemonade. So 350 ounces is less than 3 gallons. So Serena does not have enough mix to make 3 gallons of lemonade. She is going to have to go to the store and buy some more if she really does need 3 gallons, because she's not quite there. She's a little under the 384. That would be 3 gallons. All right, so let's look at this part, share and show. We're going to do this together. compare the size of a quart to the size of a pint. You can use a model to help. So we can go back to this model right here, or they've given a little table here that shows the conversion, which means how we change between the different types of measurements and how much each of those would be. So use whichever one helps you the most. I want to go from 1 quart to pints, so I'm going to look at I'm going to look at quarts here. 1 quart is 2 pints, so I need 2 pints. Each one of these blocks will not be 2 pints. Together they are 2 pints. So this one is 1 pint, and this one is also 1 pint. And 1 quart is, how many times did it take to make 1 quart? It's 2 times as much as 1 pint. So we're timesing the amount of pints by 2 to equal 1 quart. All right, so we're going to use that table here to help us again. 2 pints is how many cups? We want to go from pints, so we're looking for pints. Here it is, 2 cup to the cups, which 1 pint has 2 cups. So we are going to multiply the number of pints by how many cups is in each pint, which was 2. So we can say 2 times 2. We would need 4 cups to make the same as 2 pints. Now we're going from gallons to quarts. So what are we going to multiply the number of gallons that we have by? We're going to look on the gallons and look for quarts. So this is the one. Gallons equal 4 quarts. So 3 gallons, we're timesing it by the 4 quarts because we want to know how many quarts are in 3 gallons. 3 times 4, that gives me 12. All right, now we're going from quarts to cups. So I'm going to look over here and see, quarts has 4 cups. So I'm going to multiply how many quarts I have, the number of quarts I have, by 4 because each quart has 4 cups. 6 times 4, that is 24. Okay, so now you are ready to go on your own. You are going to multiply the number of pints that are in the gallons by the number of gallons we have here. Same thing here from fluid ounces. How many fluid ounces makes a cup? However much that is, you're going to multiply by 5 to find the amount of fluid ounces in 5 cups. Here, to use the comparisons, you're going to do something like what we did here. You need to make sure that they are both turned into the smaller measurement. So for instance, cups or gallons, which one is smaller? Cups is smaller, so I need to change the number of gallons into cups so that I can compare these two numbers. All right, same thing here. Pints or cups. Cups is smaller, so I'm going to leave this one in cups, and I need to change this one to cups by multiplying this 4 by the number of cups in each pint. All right, and then here, quarts or pints. Pints are smaller, so how many pints are in a quart? I'm going to take that number and multiply it by 5 to find out how many pints, this would be. Then I can compare these two numbers, all right? We are going to skip the hot, but we are going to do number 11. This one goes with the hot, so you will not have to do that part. And then let's look at what is on the back quickly. All right, this back is a hot, so go ahead and cross that off. We're not going to do any hot while you're working at home on your own. All right, if you need more help, please let me know.